Hello everyone and welcome to Lipnox VR. Today we're talking about the AMVR controller gun case, which they sent with the Oculus Quest 2, and I've been playing around with it. It's basically this gun stock thing you connect to your Oculus Quest touch controllers, and it makes them look like basically little handguns. So, one thing I did notice with them is the one of them was a little bit loose than the other one, so it was a little bit shaky, but didn't affect gameplay in any way, so it wasn't a big deal, and it was very easy to just press the button and disassemble them, and it was very easy to assemble them and put them on the controller, so that was really simple. But the main thing we bought these for, or played these for, they sent these to me for free, but the main reason you'd be interested in these for is playing the games. So I tested out 7 games, which I thought were perfectly fitted for these controllers, and we're going to run through them, and I'll show you my thoughts with me playing the game side by side. So the first game I wanted to show off today with these controllers is called Swarm, and it uses 2 pistols to sort of swing around almost like Spider-Man with a hook shot and blast sort of enemy robots in this weird little battle arena environment. I'm doing the challenge mode right now, but there's a full campaign and everything, and they're adding a co-op multiplayer thing, or maybe a versus multiplayer, some sort of multiplayer. But it's a really fun game, and it's using 2 pistols, so I thought it was perfectly suited for these controllers, and it was perfectly suited. It felt really cool with the weight these controllers offered, to have that extra little bit of gun stock to it, and it feels exactly like the controllers you're using in the game. The controllers are lined up 1-to-1 with them, so if you look at them outside of the headset, it looks exactly like it does with the actual in-game thing, and overall I just felt like this was an extremely fun game and perfectly fitting for these controllers. Did it improve the game overall? I don't know, because I kind of like the knuckle grips, but it was a cool, nifty thing to play with, and this game is perfectly suited for that kind of challenge because it's using the exact same kind of gun. It's not using rifles or anything like that. So on to the next game though, because one of the biggest games last year was Resident Evil 4, and while Resident Evil 4 is a full campaign kind of thing, you can still use these controllers with the analog stick and everything, so you do get full range to play more in-depth, full-blown games. I did notice when playing this kind of game though, some of the reloading was a little bit difficult with the extra pieces on the controller, so maybe Resident Evil might be one that you only put the gun stock part on the one side so you can do pistol kind of stuff, but either way I left it on for both, and you can see me checking out some story mode, and then I went in and I did some action on the shooting range, and I feel like the shooting range is definitely the most ideal part to play with this. The other thing I thought was really cool with using this for Resident Evil was that you can sort of rest the other gun on your gun, and if you're even more so using just the touch controller for the other hand, you can kind of get an extra bit of support for extra aiming, which can make it a lot easier to sort of aim for the enemies and keep your gun very steady. I think that using these for this game felt really cool. It was really fun to play with, but it was still very novelty, and I don't think that I would choose to play through the whole story mode using these kind of controllers. The next game I wanted to check out was one of my favorite multiplayer shooter games, ONWARD, and I wanted to check this one out because I just wanted to see realistically if steadying the gun using the other gun made the rifles a lot easier to use. And while they did help me a little bit, it was nothing like when I used a proper gun stock as a rifle. The one thing I do like with this kind of game though is that it lets you grip the pistols with 2 hands, which again, keeping your gun steady with the 2 pistols like that felt really fun and realistic. Do I want to go in the co-op mode with pistols only and shoot some AI guys? Maybe, that was fun, but I think if you're playing an online match, you're probably not going to find these types of controllers are going to give you any real competitive advantage. They are really cool though, and it looks cool to have in the game, and it's, again, 1-to-1. One thing about my channel is while these are all full Oculus Store games, I cover a lot of side quest things, I cover a lot of App Lab things. So I want to check these controllers out with some of those kind of games, and first things first, I had to do the one that I'm actually in, well my voice is in, BIONIC Hunter, and this game, the first default weapons you start with are 2 pistols, making this just perfectly set up, and it's fun to walk around and shoot. It has automatic reloading, so you don't have to worry about anything like that. It works perfectly fine for these controllers. I did find that even when using like the rifles, it steadied my aim that little extra bit that made it all the more fun to aim down the scope with them. These controllers are realistically not 1-to-1 like the other Oculus games. It's just slightly off from where the pistol's aligned, but either way, this is a perfect controller for this kind of game, and again, I think this kind of controller is really going to show its strength if you're playing with these App Lab games, because they're just simpler, more just get in and shoot things kind of games, and this one is just perfect for that kind of wave shooting experience, so highly recommend using these controllers for this kind of game. Another game that I felt was pretty perfectly suited for these was called Pool Cubed, because you kind of have two like guns and you're playing pool in this sort of 3D space. This was a free game. I'm not sure if it's still free, but they have had some more updates since I covered it last time. But I feel like it's just a perfect kind of game for this, because not only is it, fun to have the pistols like that, but because you can use the other pistols to sort of steady your shot, it really does kind of add to the whole pool vibe in a weird way. So definitely check this game out if you get these controllers. I'm not going to say this is the selling point for these controllers, but it was cool to play with. So this next game I felt was very perfectly suited to these controllers, called War Chasm, and this is kind of a sit in a minecart and shoot things and sort of move your head, move your body to dodge out of the way of things, duck down, but it's just perfectly suited for these kind of shooting kind of things, because you have your two pistols, you're just blasting away, press the grip buttons to reload. It's really simple, really fun, and these controllers definitely improved my aiming a little bit. I wouldn't say they were life-changing, but the extra weight felt like I was holding real guns. And for kinds of games like this, which there's a whole bunch of these kind of games, I think these controllers are very good to use with them and a lot of fun. But while everything I've checked out here was definitely perfectly suited in a way to use pistols and do that kind of thing, there was no game I found that felt better to play with these controllers than Duck Hunt VR. Because you're physically holding a plastic controller in Duck Hunt, and let's be honest, all of the zappers I've used were a little bit shaky anyway, so that the second controller that had that bit of shake to it, which I'm sure if I asked the company, they would have replaced that no problem. But that little shake almost felt more realistic to me holding an actual old zapper that, it's been used for decades and it's not in perfect condition, but I felt like holding this kind of controller for this kind of game, if you were a Duck Hunt fan, sold the controller grip right there. I thought it was really awesome to play this. It felt so much fun. Felt like the zapper was in my hands playing the game, and I just loved it. I think there's tons of awesome side quest games and side quest experiences you're going to find these controller grips work perfectly for and just add you that little bit of extra fun. So if you got the extra money and you want to play with this fun toy, I think that these AMVR gun case things you can put on your controllers do add for the right kind of thing. Are they fun? Are they dumb? I think it's a combination of both things, but I'd still say they're fun and dumb in the right way that makes it right for the right kind of person. Thank you guys for watching this video, and thank you to AMVR for sending these over. Have a wonderful day, and if you like this kind of content, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Later.